Well, it's famous trains, which for more than 50 years has helped tame the vast distances of the outback, is about to take its last ride. The Silver City Comet, the lifeline to Broken Hill and hundreds of small settlements along the way from Sydney, has fallen victims to government cost cuts. David Jones is just back from one of the Comet's last runs and reports on the ending of a transport era.
The rate speed of up to nearly 100 miles an hour.
The Comet's so reliable, it hasn't failed to make a run since it began in 1937. It's come through a world war, it's survived the boom, bust and boom again of the bush economy, but it won't survive the state government's cost cuts. This train's riding into rail history.
Dinner is now being served in the dining car. Anyone wishing to have dinner would come through in our food?
Yeah. The Silver City Comet is a reminder of those days when a long train trip was an event with a human touch. Passengers ate their meals in a real dining car, on plates instead of cardboard boxes, cups and saucers instead of disposable containers. After 52 years, the Comet's way of doing things are numbered, and the crew who keep this vintage train running aren't nearly ready to say goodbye. How important is the Comet to people out in these isolated towns?
Very, very important, extremely. Their lifeline, actually.
To what extent?
Well, come the wet weather, they can't get in or out. We've had a very wet year this year. Even the flying doctor at times can't get in. And the only way they've got to get people in and out is the Comet.
And you're often the flying doctor yourself, aren't you?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
What have you done in that sort of regard?
Well, here a while back we brought a woman in that had a heart attack. She couldn't get out. And the only way they get her out was the Comet.
But trains can't run on sentiment. It's not hard to see why the railways decided the Comet is no longer economic. On the day we ride the Comet, 29 passengers start the trip at Orange in the central west of New South Wales. By the time we reach Broken Hill, nearly 11 hours later, there'll be just 13. And in that time, 3 different drivers. Outdated manning practices that hark back to the glory days of steam. Within a matter of weeks, maybe 2 months, the Comet will make its last run, and you know the end is near because now among its passengers are nostalgia buffs making that one last ride. Do you feel any sadness that it is going by the way of progress?
Definitely, yes. I don't think it is progress. This is a very fast train when it gets on the straight out here, and I don't think that road transport will equal it.
But there'll be no reconsideration. The Comet's going the way of 8,000 railway jobs in the country to help trim State Rail's $6 billion debt. 3 times a week the Comet makes this trip, calling at Parkes, Condobolin, Ivanhoe and Menindee, picking up the Outback's bread supply along the way. When the train stops running, it'll be replaced by a bus, one of those super coaches with video screens to keep the passengers amused.
When it's wet out west, and that's the only thing that can get in and get out. Nothing else will, like only rail, that's the only thing. I don't know what they can do with the bus around Ivanhoe and that, they won't get in.
Out at Broken Hill, they're a pretty hard-headed lot, and not at all impressed they're about to lose their lifeline.
Well, if the State Rail Authority had have got their act together and got people on the trains and promoted this area, it is the capital of the outback area of New South Wales. The government wanted it to be so. They would have got people here. But they've done nothing, really.
And back on board the Comet, You can understand these country train people getting just a bit sentimental.
They've got a lot of memories, got a good time.
What are your best memories of working with them?
Good staff to work with. Oh, just everything, I think. Good staff to work with. People, mixing with people and that.
So what's the message for Nick Griner and Ross Sayers today? Replace it. Don't do away with it.